In today's topic, we are going to discuss about angles of elevation and depression. Angles of elevation. It is the angle between the horizontal line through the eye of an observer and the line of sight of an object when the object is above the horizontal line. So supposing when someone is looking up, it is the angle of elevation. But if someone is looking down, it makes up the angle of depression. So supposing an airplane pass by, so this angle is the angle of depression, but this angle is the angle of elevation. So take note that the angle of depression is equal to the angle of elevation. There are certain situations wherein there are angles of elevation and depression, just like this one and the other one. Take note that the angle of elevation and the angle of depression is always measured from the horizontal line, and that the angle of elevation and the angle of depression are equal. So if we have two parallel lines cut by a transversal, the alternate interior angles are always equal. So there is a common error in angle of depression. This one is a huge mistake, but this one is correct. Now let us solve problems involving angles of elevation and depression. So how do we solve for the unknown? So to solve for the unknown, we are going to use the trigonometry. So remember your saw, ka, toa. So sine theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, cosine theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. So if this is your theta or your angle, this is the opposite side, and this is the adjacent side. And the side opposite to the right angle is the hypotenuse. And if this is your theta, this would be your opposite side, and this would be your adjacent side. And the side opposite your right angle will always be your hypotenuse. Now, let us answer your homework. So from this, a radio station tower was built into two sections. From a point 87 feet from the base of the tower, the angle of elevation of the top of the first section is 25 degrees, and the angle of elevation of the top of the second section is 40 degrees. To the nearest foot, what is the height of the top section of the tower? So in doing this, we are going to first compute for the height of the tower. So I name it y. To compute for the height of the tower, we are going to use tan theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. Substituting all the values, we get tangent 40 degrees is equal to y over 85, or 87 I should say. From here, we are going to cross multiply. So therefore, y is equal to tangent 40 degrees times 87. So in your calculator, y is equal to or approximately equal to 73 feet. Now let us compute for the other part of the tower. So this one. So I call it set. To compute for set, we are going to have tangent 25 degrees is equal to set over 87. Then we are going to cross multiply. So set is equal to tangent 25 degrees times 87. Using your calculator, it would be approximately equal to 41. So it is 41 feet. Now, we can solve for x. To solve for x, it is equal to 73 minus 41. So x would be equal to 32 feet. So the height of the top section of the tower is 32 feet. Now let us find the angles of elevation and depression. So this time, we are not going to solve for the sides, but the angle itself. So let us have example number 1. The diagram below shows a building PQ on a level ground. The points Q and R are on the ground. Find the angle of elevation of point P from point R. So in here, we are going to find the angle of elevation. So it is located at point R. So to solve for theta, we are going to use the TOA, which is equal to tangent theta is equal to the opposite, which is PQ over the adjacent, which is QR. Substituting the values, we get 18 over 11. In your calculator, typing 18 divided by 11 is equal to or approximately equal to 1.63636 and so on and so forth. Then press shift tan equals. So shift tan equal. So it would be equal to 58.5704 and so on and so forth. Then press this one, it would be equal to 58 degrees 34 minutes 13.56 seconds. Rounding off, we get the measure of the angle is equal to 58 degrees 34 minutes. Now let us have example number 2. Find the angle of elevation of a balloon B from a point P on the ground. The balloon is 200 meters above the ground and the distance from point P to the balloon is 311 meters. So first, we are going to illustrate the problem. So we are going to solve for the angle of elevation. So this is the theta and that is the right angle at point C. So in here, we are going to use SAW. So sine theta is equal to BC over PB because BC is the opposite side and PB is the hypotenuse. So substituting the values, we get 200 over 311. In your calculator, 200 divided by 311 is equal to or approximately equal to 0.643 and so on and so forth. Press shift, sign equal, and then we will be getting 40.022 and so on and so forth. Press this one, we get 40 degrees, 1 minute, 20.58 seconds. Rounding up, we get the measure of the angle is equal to 40 degrees, 1 minute. Now let us have another one. So a car is parked 100 meters away or 100 meters away from the building. If the distance from the top of the building to the car is 174 meters, find the angle of depression from the top of the building to the car. So this is the horizontal line. This is your angle of depression. Since angle of depression is equal to the angle of elevation, so we are going to solve for this angle. So we are going to use CA. So cosine is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. So substituting the values, we get the adjacent side is equal to 100 meters and the hypotenuse is equal to 174. In your calculator, 100 divided by 174 is approximately equal to 0.5747 and so on and so forth. Press shift cos equal sign, we get 54.9204 and so on and so forth. And then press this one, we get 54 degrees, 55 minutes, 13.76 seconds. Rounding up, the measure of the angle is equal to 54 degrees, 55 minutes. Now let us have a short quiz. The shadow cast by a stick a certain time is 40 centimeters. If the stick is 65 centimeters long, what is the angle of elevation of the sun at that time? So this is the solution to the problem. So the height of the stick is 65 meters and the shadow is 40 meters. So we are going to determine the angle of elevation. So we are going to use tangent theta. So tangent theta is equal to 65 over 40, which is approximately equal to 1.625. And then we are going to press shift tan equal sign, which is equal to 58.39, and so on and so forth. Then we are going to have 58 degrees, 23 minutes, 32.99 seconds. Or rounding it off, the angle of elevation is equal to 58 degrees, 23 minutes. Now, this is your exercise. You need to find the angle of depression of a point on the ground from the top of a 30-meter post, given that point is 270 meters away from the post. And this is the solution. Tangent theta is equal to 30 over 270. So it is approximately 0.111. Then use your calculator. So we get 6.34019146, or press the degrees, minutes, and seconds. We get 6 degrees, 20 minutes, 24.69 seconds. Rounding it off, we get 6 degrees, 20 minutes. And now this is your homework. Please be careful in illustrating the problem and do it in your notebook. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching. See you again next time. Please click the subscribe button. Bye.